if I can plant a seed here, the job of you as a coach, if you're really going to have an impact on your schools, is that you create a coaching culture where the teachers are coaching each other more than you are doing the coaching. Okay? If you are working in a building as a math coach, there will not be enough coaching done if the coaching only gets done by you. As a school administrator, you can't have enough coaching happening in your building if you're the only one doing the coaching. When you create a culture of coaching, you've got teachers coaching each other. So I like to think of your job as coaches in the buildings as being plate spinners in the circus. So if you'd play with that metaphor for a moment, you find these two primary teachers, you get them focused on looking at how they're teaching science, and you get that plate spinning between those three teachers. And now that they're working together and coaching each other, you sneak out of there and you run down to 5th and 6th grade and get one started down there. Okay? Now you got to remember that spinning plate, because if you don't get back to it, administrators, it falls off. So I got to run down there, get that one going. Now I can run over here and I get these 4 people working on this project, and I get that plate spinning, and now I'm over here getting another one going. And my job is to keep bringing new ideas, new connections, bringing people together. Okay? Now, think of the network you make among yourself. You might be connecting 2 teachers from your building with 2 teachers on the other side of the state who are working with one of your partners here. Now the 2 of you get those 4 teachers connected. They're sending videotapes back and forth to each other, they're emailing lesson plans, and they're coaching each other, and now you're off starting another one. Now, I've got 3 kinds of coaching that you could look at working with that way. And if you'll turn in your text back to page 16 and 17, I've got the 3 of them outlined there for you. The first one's going to jump right into the part that Debbie shared with you when she said that you could use professional development to kind of think of it like a salt block. You get them thirsty so they go to drink. So you can use professional development. See, it's pretty hard if teachers have never studied the difference between a sequential approach to teaching science and a global approach to teaching science. It'd be pretty rare for the teacher to come and request it from you. But if you did a workshop on sequential and you did a workshop on global, then that might be just what triggers teachers to say, I think I'd like to know more about this, or I'm wondering what it is that I'm doing in my class. Okay. When you model a lesson for teachers using manipulatives in math where a teacher hasn't used them before, that gets a teacher thinking about, I wonder how I might do that. Most of that coaching would fit under a title of what I'd call technical coaching. And technical coaching is generally connected to staff development. So technical coaching gives you specific feedback on the change that you're looking to implement back into your classroom. If we go back to our the interview that Eric and I did yesterday, our pre-conference, when Eric said, I'd like you to look at my conferences with teachers and I'd like you to look at my questions being open-ended or close-ended. Okay? As soon as Eric asked me to do that, he's requesting technical coaching. So Eric's saying, hey, I was to this workshop this Steve Barkley guy presented. And he talked about the fact that coaches need to have more open-ended questions. So I'm going to consciously be practicing my open-ended questions. So I need a coach to come into my classroom and observe the kinds of questions that I'm using. Okay? So now you go back to your school, you do a workshop on a pre-reading strategy. Okay? Prior to asking the students to read this section in the text, here's 3 different activities you could use. Let me model what each of those activities would look like. Now the teacher says, I'm going to take that first activity, I'd like to do it tomorrow. Would you come in, observe the activity, and let me know if I'm implementing it the way that I'm supposed to be implementing it? Okay? Technical feedback connected to staff development.